y'all, it's your girl Latoya. I'm here in my natural habitat. I didn't even clean up a damn thing because I just wanted to give you guys the raw and the real. It's been a year since freelance entrepreneurship has commenced. Since full-time entrepreneurship has commenced, and it's been a very humbling experience. It's so interesting that the moment that I decided to go freelance and like go independent, pursue my own things on my own, was when the opportunities within the music industry started to get fewer and fewer and more sparse. And so that was very interesting to navigate. That's what caused me to pivot in my company from being a freelance music journalist to being a publicist. My PR journey was very rewarding. I got people on national television. I got some Grammy award-winning clients. It was pretty successful. And then I had obviously the predictable clientele as like emerging artists. A few emerging artists originally from Canada, based in the States. A few emerging artists that are just based across Canada. There was somebody who was based in Montreal, someone based in Saskatchewan. Oh no one based in Saskatchewan. Someone based in Montreal, Alberta, Toronto, maybe BC, I can't recall. But yeah, so it's been pretty cool just getting cross-country media attention on those individuals, and then again, the national reach for the Grammy award-winning artists and producers I've been able to work with. So it's been cool. But what I would say is that financially it hasn't been super rewarding, just because I'm not someone who's business-minded. So when it came to like making deals or seeing opportunity for a financial deal, I just didn't seize it, just because my brain isn't wired like that. I really do prefer impact over profit. And so that's what landed me in the position that I am right now. So right now we're in December 2024. On my calendar, at the end of this month, I wanted to see 100K in my bank account, or at least been able to look at my business profit and be like, okay, I made 100K. I was expecting to do this in my first year of business as a service-based provider who just started a new sector within their business. With no business, no business skills. But I believed in myself. I really believed in myself, and like every time I was like, okay, like what can I do better? Okay, I've done this, I've done that, like what can I do better? And like, yeah, all while like going on this personal journey. So I think a lot of people don't include the emotional turmoil that it takes to really be an entrepreneur. Like you really have to have a good mind frame. Like you have to have grit. You have to be disciplined. You have to be just like a go-getter, but also you have to be mentally sane. And I feel like from someone that was recovering from a lot of childhood trauma, because I knew this year in particular, I really wanted to double down on that, because I knew if like I didn't heal those wounds, then they're gonna keep coming up in different spaces of my life. And I was just like, F that. I don't want it. So like this year, along with pivoting, I was also on this like emotional journey of just like healing my childhood wounds, identifying what they were. There was one day I remember I was crying for literally like 3 hours, man. Like every time I thought I was done, there was more tears. There was a new memory. I was like, no. This life like literally suppressed like my entire childhood. So this whole year was about identifying what are some of those wounds? Who do we need to forgive? How are we going to forgive them? And journaling, a lot of journaling. Got through 2 books already. Well, I guess 1.5. 1.5. But a lot of journaling. And yeah. And so I feel like that mixed in with this ideology that I'm not going to burn out this year. There was a lot of things that I did November of 2023 where I was like, I gotta get this video, I gotta go out to this concert to get this content. Like I was doing all of the things because I was like, I have to put out this video, I have to do this. I was pushing in this energy of lack. I was navigating in this energy of just like proving them wrong. I wasn't doing it for the right purposes, although I I like it in the sense, like, I like talking about the music industry. The way that I was going about it was really tiring, really exhausting, really draining. And the ROI was so minimal, so low, so low, so low. And so, like, there was just an aspect of BTM, if you guys know my series called Behind the Music or Behind the Artist. Yeah, so there was an aspect of just doing the work for BTM that was just so draining. And I was just like, ugh, I can't. And then eventually God blessed me with a videographer and things like were working out well, but like to get the final product out kind of took some time. So I was like, okay, like this is a good match, but it's not. Like there's still some work that needs to be done within the system that we have in place, right? And then near the end of the year, I'm so lucky to have my girl Vanshika. Her and I were back as like the duo, the power duo, and we are killing it when we go to these events, which I'm grateful for. But that's the BTM side, and then there's the emotional side, and then there's just like life in general. Listen, I started recording because I felt the need to put on this camera, so excuse me if this video was like literally all over the place. I just really wanted to hop on and share the phases of my career, the phases of like this year, because I consider this now an official year of being a full-time entrepreneur in the music sector. I call myself, I work in the media relations because I'm familiar with digital marketing, I'm familiar with content creation, I'm familiar with traditional media, and I'm familiar with social media. And so because I do work in all four of those aspects, I work within the media realm, and so I work in media relations. And that's like my expert. That's where my hat is, you know, like based on everything that I've achieved in my career thus far, I'm a media pro. And I have like 7 going on to 8 years of experience. So God bless. But one thing that I really wanted to focus on this year was just like not getting burnt out, because every other year since has been burnt out. I've been burnt out. And actually, you know what? Here's something that's good to talk about. The concept of being burnt out. Because for the longest while, people were telling me to take a break. You know, like, you should take a break. You should probably take a break. And in my mind, when I was younger, in my mind, I was like, no, like, I have this to do, I have that to do, I have this to do, I have that to do. I don't see the point. But if people told me something like, you should decide to take a break before your body tells you to take a break, then I would have been more intrigued on hearing why it's important. Like, why do people take a break? They take a break to avoid burnout, because burnout is the state when your body takes over and literally physically prevents you from doing anything. And then you're getting upset at yourself. You're shaming yourself. You're like putting yourself down because you're not able to meet your to-do list because you're burnt out. Okay, I didn't understand that when I was younger. So when I was developing this skill set of ambition, I didn't take no pauses. And now I'm seeing like the repetition of like burnt out. I was like continuously getting burnt out and just so frustrated at myself. I remember the first time I signed myself up for an article and I left, I didn't do it. I didn't complete it because I was burnt out. I remember every time I would force myself to get up out of bed, sit at the laptop, I would type a few words and I was like, done. My brain was like mush. Like, I was burnt out, you know? And to the point where like, but even then, when I was experiencing that, I didn't even know how to label it. Like, I was just like, Latoya, something's wrong with you. Like, you know, like, something's wrong with you. This shouldn't be this hard. This shouldn't be this hard. Burnt out. Burnt out. This year, I was like, I'm not gonna be burnt out. When I was working at I would go 3 weeks hard. Wouldn't be able to wrap up the month without being burnt out. Would literally fall asleep while driving. Burnt out. Literally every time I get my nails done, fall asleep, burnt out. There were so many times where I'd like, okay, I have 3 days off. Let's get this done. Guess who was the couch potato for those 3 whole days just watching Netflix? Burnt out. It's not that I'm not a hard worker. It's not that I don't know what I'm doing. It's not that I don't have the skills or access or stuff. Sometimes I truly don't have access. But it's not that. It's because I work too much. And like, I'm in this phase now where I'm like, I want to live the soft life. I'm not chasing. I'm only attracting. I refuse to be burnt out. And I'm really proud of myself to finish the year off being like, there were times where I felt like I was being pushed to the edge. I was almost about to experience that. But honestly, in those times, my friends, 2 of them, Rahel and Neat, they were able to call me up and they're like, girl, you need to go outside today. Like, what is one thing that you're doing for yourself today? You know, because they knew. Yeah, it's just like that type of thing where it's like, now that I understand what being burnt out is, and I've experienced it so many times, I'm like making a decision that I'll never go back. I don't want to be there again where I'm like, my body's telling me no. So I just wanted to hop on this camera, make a quick YouTube video about being burnt out because it sucks. And I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But I also wanted to make a YouTube video because we need to get consistent on this app, and it's Vlogmas, so I think now's a great time to kind of show you guys what my December is all about. I know Vlogmas is usually the lead up towards Christmas and New Year's celebration and all that stuff. Obviously those dates are coming, but my life's not gonna represent the lead up to this grand holiday. It's just gonna be like my day-to-day, what's happening, and so on and so forth. We might buy a couple of gifts, we'll see what happens, but it's not really high priority. High priority this season is to wrap it up. You know, in good standing with all my clients, do whatever I need to do just to make sure that I'm all prepped for January. Because although it's like the first of a new year, I don't really see it like that. It's another income month. And I just need to make sure that I have everything I need ready to go, especially because I know it's going to be one of those months where I'm going to be moving a lot more slower and stuff. So I just need to make sure that I'm prepared for that. And I'm already thinking about this, and it's like the 4th or 6th day of December. So yeah, I'm going to try my best to do Vlogmas. This is episode 1. We were talking about being burnt out, being burnt out, not doing that anymore. And then also the fact that I'm making this commitment to hop on the Vlogmas challenge. Let's do it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful day. It's your girl signing out.